Well, is anybody gonna get us started?
What's up, guys? Welcome back. Houseline Broadcasting coming back to you guys live once again here tonight. Like usual, we got Billy in the booth. What's up, Billy?
Hey, what's up, Eagles?
Not much. I'm really excited for the podcast tonight. We have a ton to recap. Record setting. We have three guys for guests tonight. Starting off with Lugnut. What's up, Lug?
Not much. Hey guys, how are you?
I'm good. I'm excited. With
Me
us,
too.
with us in the booth tonight as well is Bleachy Bones. What's up, Bleachy?
What's up, buddy? Excited to be here.
Yes, sir. We're glad to have you, just like always. What's up, JD?
What's going on, fellas? Good to be here with you, man.
Not much, not much. So, there is a ton to talk about. As we just wrapped up our first points race of the season Wednesday night. We started it Sunday. We like to start with the C League, move into the B, then we move into the A League, and then we kind of discuss the A. We have a lot of things to talk about, like I said. Starting off with the C League. Billy, as you know, they opened up their Daytona race with points race. Just kind of walk us through your perspective, because you broadcasted that. Just who won, how is the racing, and what do you look for?
Oh yeah, man. It was our opening season race. We had a lot of fresh faces in our C group, and for a lot of you guys that don't know, last season we didn't have a C group. This was all brand new. We took a chance. We moved a couple guys down from B to jump in C, and just to kind of get things going. And we brought a lot of new faces in, and coming into the race last week, we did our duels and everything, and got to qualifying, races and everything underway, and then we dropped the green flag last week, for points race number 1 for our C group, and didn't have, I had expectations, but didn't have high expectations, just because, we had a lot of, I'm not going to say inexperienced drivers, but we had a lot of new faces that we didn't know how the race was actually going to go. And, to be honest, I was very impressed. I know we had some cautions, and a few things, but I think the race, all in all, I thought went as good as it could have went for the circumstance. You know what I mean? So, we seen a lot of action. We seen a lot of different cars, getting shuffled from the front to the back to the front, and at some times we seen some pretty good racing, and I think the heavy favorite coming in was probably Big Rig. He's kind of a seasoned veteran. He was on the pole, and led a lot of laps. He led a bunch of laps, and some late race cautions, and I was more, I was very impressed. My daughter was able to get to the front, Baby Lion. She was able to get to the front, and she was kind of able to hold her own, through some cautions and stuff. And I was very proud of her last week. The very first time racing, and was able to capture a win. Very first win, very first race. So it was kind of very impressive.
Yeah.
It took a few cautions to get there, but she came away victorious last week. I mean, like I said, I was impressed with all the drivers last week, being new and a new group. So I'm very anxious to see, what kind of unfolds at Texas.
Definitely, and now that we think about it, we had first-time winners in all three series, A, B, and C League. We had first-time winners in all three of the series. I don't think we've ever had that happen before. First time with a C League, and we had a first-time winner in A, B, and the C League. Obviously, with Baby Lion, your daughter Macy, getting the win in the C League at Daytona. But going into the B League, I'm gonna hold off, and we have three guests in the booth. And the interesting part is they all raced in the B League race. So, first of all, Lugnut, how did your race go? What was your expectations going into the race? And just walk us through your race, and what do you look for?
I was hoping for a top 5 car. I thought I had a really good car. I stayed up front most of the race. I won a stage. Then, of course, I screwed it up going into pit road. Gave myself and somebody else a black flag penalty, and fought back from 18th until the end, and I ended up 10th.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
overall, it wasn't a bad race, I guess.
Yeah, you never know with Daytona. You know, a big field, it's a lot of drafting. One wreck can take you out of it, you know, in a heartbeat. And you guys probably
Yeah,
have the
I
best
got hit by
racing.
the leg pretty hard there, and that took me back to
Yeah,
18th.
yeah. Lag was definitely a part of it in all the series, especially the A League and, like you said, in the B League as well. So I have to give all three of you guys props because I think the B League had the best race. You know, if you're gonna pick them all apart, typically people look at the B and they say the A had the best. A was a total disaster, and I give you guys 100% props. You guys put on a great show. You guys were a little messy in only one of the stages, and the rest of the race, the other two stages, you guys were fine. You know, just like on Mondays, the B League race looked just like our big race on Monday. Big group, you guys did very well. I give all you guys props, and that kind of leads me into the next person in Bleachy Bones, the rookie. Raced the dual race last week in the C League. Billy evaluated you and said you're good enough to move up to B. You moved up to B. Walk me through your race, and how was your first time racing in the B League compared to the C?
Oh, I gotta tell you, buddy. It was the most fun I've ever had in this game. I came into the race with the mindset I wanted to find Enel like immediately and just get to the front, stay out of trouble. I managed to dodge pretty much every wreck that came at me and managed to stay up there entire race. Got top 3 in both stages. Kind of annoyed that me and Enel messed up on the last pit stop because we kind of got split apart there, and yeah, kind of annoying that happened because I know I had a winning car that day. So yeah, but however, overall, I'm pretty happy with how the race went.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was gonna say, you know, it's
yeah. Go ahead.
you know, you know, me and you've been talking back and forth, you know, for a little bit, and you know, I seen something in you from the just from the dual qualifyings and the qualifying, and you know, I was very impressed with how you conduct yourself and how you came out, and you know, you had something to prove in the B race, and you kind of done that. You know, it's you know, we got a lot of seasoned veterans in this B group, and you know, you were right there with these guys and battling, and it was it's pretty awesome to see. You know, you see some new faces come in and actually step their game up and able to compete, and that's kind of what we want. You know, it's all about developmental, getting people to the next level, and you know, I think you're one of those guys that, you know, with some more time and some more assistance and stuff, I think you'll be right where you need to be, man. So great job last week.
Appreciate that, Billy.
Definitely.
Yes, good run.
Definitely. I mean, to have somebody get moved up from the first race, you know, you were in the C and it was at Daytona, it was in the duels, there's only half the field, and Billy noticed something in you and talked with you and moved you up to B. That's pretty cool. You know, it shows that you're being watched already, and it just shows for anybody else who thinks I could dominate every race and never get noticed. You know, that just proves, you know, Billy, the league host, broadcasts both the lower series, so there's nobody that's ever going to get missed. So if you win races and you show potential talent, you know, if you go into B and dominate B, we're going to see you in the A League, you know, and that goes for anybody. But that does kind of lead me into my next topic with the veteran. He's been here all 3 seasons with us, and he's going to be here all year long for the season 4. JD, walk me through your race, and how'd you do?
Well, I went into the race feeling like I had to be patient, and I had to get through some messes. On the first accident in the first stage, I went back to 21st, worked my way back up to 4th, and then back down to 19th. Getting that outside groove to try to go was just not going to happen. So you had to be very patient down there in that bottom side. And if somebody went up and made a mistake, well, you just filled that hole. So basically that's what I did to get back where, and the pit strategy that me and our eventual winner and Travis, we pitted all together, and it was awesome. We all came out together. we made a promise. I made a promise to Bubba that I wasn't going to try nothing until the very last lap, and that's where it was. It was an awesome race overall. We had some guys that was a little impatient in the first stage, and it kind of like chilled out after that, and it was really good racing. So proud of everybody.
So
Definitely.
that brings me to one thing, JD. Being a veteran like yourself, you've been on the game for a long time. A lot of these guys look up to you in the B League, and you have a lot of respect. So being a veteran coming into a big event, right? So I mean, it's the first point race of the season. Um, how does it? Number one, how did you feel coming into the race? And number two, how did it feel to be racing around new faces and what to expect?
Um, I expected the high side to move. We started on the high side. We had a bunch of veterans up on the high side,
Yep.
and it didn't work out. It just didn't work out. Didn't pan out. For some reason, you could not do anything with that low side. So we all did what we did. We backed off and tried to find a hole, and unfortunately, I couldn't get in a hole until the very back of the pack, and I worked my way up. As far as the new guys, there was a little impatience, but they all settled down, and it turned out to be a pretty doggone good race. Um, we had a bunch of rookies up there
Once
fighting
we
for the
all
lead.
started communicating, it worked a lot better.
That was the key. And if we could have had everybody in the
Yeah.
same chat, it would have been much better. But once we all start, we had some guys trying to uh, drive through you in the turns at first, and then they chilled out after we explained it. This track isn't all about running full throttle all the way around it. You want to give guys room. You want to let them make a mistake in front of you. If you're right on their butt, you're more likely when that happens, you're going to make that same mistake with them. And
Yep.
you need to back off and let things happen. That way you can move forward without getting under the old lines and stuff. But man, what an awesome race! And I was so dang proud of the C League. Them guys, guys and girls over there, they were just they put on a really good show.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, I think
Definitely. And
I was impressed. I mean, what you don't know what to expect, right? I mean, it's a
Right.
brand new group. I mean, you got to think about something. We got 22. Let's see. I think we have 22 or 23 racers on the roster for C Group, and probably 80% of them are brand new.
Yep.
We've never seen them. We don't know what they're going to do after Daytona. So that's what makes it so exciting. Because you know I love watching my UB guys race. I love it. That's you guys are my bread and butter group. I've always said that from day one because I just see so much potential, and it just keeps getting better and better and better and better. And I look at my C group as that as well now as that's my bread and butter. I want to see these guys and girls succeed, right, and get to the next level, and that's what our system is designed for, is to make racers better, race more respectful, and at the same time you have to go through growing pains, right? So
Absolutely.
this may not be a good race at Texas. It may take half the season for everybody to get acclimated and get used to each other and know people's moves and communicate and whatnot. And I think this series will teach that to get these guys and girls to the next level. That's the whole goal, right? Is to
Absolutely.
be able to advance. And I'm looking
Yeah, I think Texas
very,
is going to be
very
a
forward.
hard one to judge it on.
Yeah, I mean I'm looking very, very forward to this Sunday because I want to see what they bring to the table. Either way the races goes, I'm still proud of them.
Oh, of
It's
course.
it's however the race goes, I'm still proud, man. Because it's a brand new series, and if you're not on the edge of your seat when you watch any of these broadcasts, I don't think you like racing at all.
I
definitely.
was I believe everybody that was in our chat in B League last week, we were all watching the race. So
Yeah,
it
for
was
sure.
a very good race. It was you guys in the C League. Big props to you all. Baby Line, awesome job. Uh, Very patient. Billy, I think she has the Billy Holcomb gene for sure. Patience, and it
Yeah,
pays off.
yeah. So to add to that, Billy obviously he gave us his perspective of the B and the C. You kind of gave us your perspective of the C League, JD. But for Bleachy Bones and Lugnut, we'll start off with Lugnut. Um, you're just a
I
racer in the B League. What do you think of the C League? Because you watch the broadcast. Just what's your perspective? Just watching the broadcast and just watching these guys. Because you never know. Next week you could be racing these guys. You never know. You
I
don't ever know.
I enjoyed watching the guys come from the front to the back, and when they got to the front, to see what they could do with the regulars that were in the C group. And it was just fun to watch them mix them back and forth. I thought it was a really good race.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And going over to Bleachy Bones, you actually raced in this series. You and in a little town might be, and Blue Pit I think are the only guys to race in the C and the B, so you can actually give a small comparison. What do you think of the C League? Being you raced in that series once and already improved your way up to B, which is really good. I give you props for that. You and the 11 car in a little town. We actually called you guys out on the broadcast last week at the C League. You guys controlled that race from start to finish. You improved your way up to B. What do you think now, looking down on the C League? Just what's your perspective now? You have a different one than what you did just a week ago.
Well, I could definitely tell the difference when I came into B, that there were people who knew each other, like of seeing how they ran on the track. But I was impressed with how they did in the race. It looked like everybody was giving each other respect, like being patient. Obviously, they had some cautions, but it's many cars and they never ran together in a full pack before. So that being said, they had some green flag laps, and they did pretty good in my eyes.
Definitely. But that kind of leads me into my next point. Now that we've kind of got everybody's perspectives of the C League at Daytona, the B League at Daytona. Now we move over to the A League. We just raced just Wednesday night. We had a major field. I've never raced with 35 guys in a league race before. It was a little messy. We're gonna start off with Billy. Just recap and what are your thoughts looking back now on Wednesday night and just what's your thoughts? Just what's your thoughts for the Wednesday league?
Yeah,
You had a big field, but it wasn't the greatest racing. Just mixing everything together. Just
yeah.
give
It's
me your take.
we had a lot of hype. We had a lot of hype coming into this race. We had a lot of people watching. We had a lot of big names. We got some of the big names in the game in this league that raced last Wednesday. But I went back and watched the broadcast and everything, and there was a lot of mistakes. We had some veteran guys and some big name guys making some mistakes. We had some seasoned guys, not pro material, but also making a few mistakes. And but from it was very awesome to see 35 cars on the racetrack. Was it a total wash? No, it wasn't a total wash. I mean, we had some moments where we had some great racing. Kind of stretch out a little bit. We had some green flag laps. But I mean, all in all, it's a little bit of a disappointment. But you know what? It's not. It's all in how you rebound, right? And I think a lot of these guys in here is committed. They're committed to making the league better. And it wasn't a total wash. I mean, yeah, obviously I was disappointed because we didn't showcase our talent like I thought we should have. But you know what? We're gonna chalk that one up, and we're gonna move on to the next one. Because I think if you're watching out here right now, I think with the way we got things going, I think you're gonna see one hell of a race come next Wednesday by these guys, because I think we got something to prove. So you don't want to miss it.
Definitely, definitely, and My take as well, because I was in this race. I think it was just you kind of gotta compare. You gotta compare to the C and the B League. The C League was messy. They got their act together and they had a good race. The B started off a little messy, but to be honest with you, that was probably the best race of the week. And like I said, I give all three of these guys in the podcast booth with us tonight, JD, Lugnut, and Bleachy Bones. I give them all credit, because they were a big part of why that race was such a good race. But then you kind of compare. It was a bigger field. I don't ever know if you can give the bigger field the excuse. I kind of chalk it up to probably just egos, because you look at the B League guys, they're all friends, they're buddies, they hang out, they're veterans, they've known each other, they've raced 4 years together now. A lot of them have just came in last season or the season before. Very few rookies, and they just know each other. The C League is guys trying to learn. The A League is all veterans, and they think they have to prove I'm better than these other 34 guys. And I'm vulnerable of it too. You are. Everybody in the league is, because everybody, they're hyped. And who doesn't want to win Daytona, the season opener? Who doesn't want to win that? Who doesn't want to put it out there? I'm the guy to beat all season. When you have 34 guys you're competing against every week, it's much different than when you're racing against 15 guys every week. So I kind of chalk it up to that. Probably a lot, because none of these guys can't drive. There's really no excuse for a messy race. So what's your excuses? It'd have to be probably ego. And we'll get into the rule changes later in the podcast. But we're going to once again start off with Lugnut. What's your take? I'm sure you watched the broadcast. I'm sure you've seen, kind of what happened. Just what's your take? Because you guys outperformed us this week. And like I said, I give you all props for that. You guys outperformed us this week.
Well, being up in the booth, in the broadcast booth,
That's
I
right.
Well saw,
That's
it,
right.
saw it all. So I saw
That's
every
right.
lap of you on every car. So I, like you said, I think there's a lot of hype to it. Everybody, it's Daytona. They want to win the first race of the season. Plus stage points. Nobody's touched on stage points at all. Everybody wants to get those stage points. You could be 10th or 12th or 11th for the couple to go on the stage, and you at least 10th. You want that 10th place spot or down further. Every point nowadays is going to count in the long run. So I think that's what you're seeing.
Definitely.
One thing I want to kind of add too is I think a lot of what I've seen too is it was a lot of guys, not necessarily they wouldn't kind of give and take, but I didn't see a whole lot of patience either.
No.
I seen a couple guys, well, I seen a lot. Everybody was trying to get to the front at once, and with a 34 to 35 car field, it's very hard to do that, and that's where a lot of patience come in because, it's just, lines tried to form on the outside, couldn't nobody go. Everybody was trying to hug that bottom, and with the draft being so heavy, heavy as it was, it was almost like you would run up on the guy that in front of you, like you'd have a big checkup or something like that, and it was just kind of
I don't think there's one car in that field that didn't make a mistake or drove the way they normally don't drive. Like there was stuff being done that people normally don't do that we've raced with, that you've seen racing for weeks and weeks and weeks.
Yeah. Definitely, so
I think patience was key as well. Is that was what needed to happen. Everybody being patient, but I think it was just, I didn't see a lot of guys being patient. So it kind of was. That's the downfall that you get is when you don't have patience and you had a fast track with 35 guys. That's kind of the race you get.
Well, like, you want to go, but there's nowhere to go. There's absolutely nowhere to go.
Pretty much.
You either got to drive through them or drive around them, and I saw a lot of drive through them just to get the position. But that comes with Daytona.
Yeah, I mean, I was in the draft, and it didn't feel like I was racing the number 9 Napa car. It felt like I was racing the number 9 jet. Like, we were flying. Yeah. Like, when you're in the draft, and you're running up on the guy in front of you at 220, and they're pulling away from you, you're flying around that racetrack. Like, that's insane.
I took it 3 wide on a restart once. I was running the high line. I got such a draft off the guy in front of me. He didn't go. I cut down low just to avoid him. boom, on 3 wide and we're crashing. Did I mean to do it? No, but I chose to go low. Just we're making decisions that we normally don't make.
Yep. Yeah. So that kind of leads me into, another guest in the booth, Bleachy Bones. I'm sure you've seen some of the clips and seen some of the broadcasts of the A race. I'm sure you heard about it as well. Just what's your take on the A race?
Yeah, I watched it live. I think starting off, it looked like people had some big patience issues, but it blew past patience, and I think it all turned into a big ball of frustration and a lot of anger that looked like people were taking out on each other, and just wasn't much respect between people in the field.
Definitely. Yeah. I
Definitely.
mean, you're not wrong. When it's a bunch of guys that, you got rookies in the league, which are veterans in the game, it's awkward, the guys in the C League, they're rookies trying to come in and learn. You got rookies coming into the A Series that are better than me, you know what I mean? Like, it's an awkward, big field, new season, lot of hype, rookies but veterans at the same time. It's just a lot of things to mesh together, and, yeah. JD, what's your take on it?
Well, somebody explained it quite elegantly in one of our chats, and give props to Noko. It was a bunch of badasses out there that didn't realize that the guy that they were racing against was a badass too. And the respect and went out the window, it looked like to me, because I seen all kinds of stuff that I'm like, man, what are these guys doing? This is
Yeah. You normally don't do that.
yeah, you know what I mean. Getting under the yellow line, getting onto a guy's quarter panel to move him up just to gain a spot. Um, Daytona is, if you're not patient at Daytona is a very patient race because you can make and break yourself in the track. But when you get to the pits and you get to the strategy part of it, that's where you make and break it yourself. If you make a mistake with any of that, you're done. Um,
Okay, a question for Billy. Billy, if it wouldn't have been Daytona and you had all these cars starting, where do you think the conversation would be tonight? If it wasn't Daytona.
Um, I
I
think it
think
would have
we'd
been a
be in the
different
same
story,
boat.
maybe.
Well,
I don't know though. I don't know because it's kind of the same situation, right? So you got a lot of new faces in here. We added over 20 people to A League this season, and I don't know if it would have went any different. I think Wednesday was an eye opener for everybody. That hey guys, I know we're all here to race and we're all here to win, but I think I, it's hard to tell. I mean, we're going to find out Wednesday, right? So, um,
Were people driving over their heads or driving without
yeah, I think
patience?
so. I think I think guys were really aggressive as well. At times, I seen some clips where some guys were deliberately moving people. I seen some guys that were getting big runs and just slamming into people. I seen people wrecking people on purpose. It, I think it was hyped up so much, and the speeds were so fast, and the cars were so equal that it created that. It created that monster, and it came out, and it kind of exposed us. You know what I mean? As a group, and uh, if we'd have been somewhere like Atlanta or somewhere like that, I don't know if it'd have been any better. Um,
Okay.
it's hard to tell, Lug. I mean, time will tell. But I can tell you one thing: we will get better, and we will prove to the world that FTR A League can drive, we can race, we will put on a great show. I can promise you that.
yeah,
Well,
definitely.
you guys just keep watching us in the B group. You'll get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, 'cause y'all, both
We can
groups
help
showed
you
us
out.
up this week, so I'm okay with that. I'm
Man, I
actually
know
okay
there
with
was
that.
people in C group. if they would have been in B, I probably wouldn't have beat them the other night either. Like there's some good drivers
And
everywhere.
one thing I want to add is the A race on Wednesday probably couldn't have been any worse. I think we had 1 or 2 runs over 5 laps, and that's where you could actually tell we were like driving jets and not race cars. Maybe that was our issue. But one thing I have to say is we may be in good shape for the rest of the season. Typically, after Daytona, 10 guys leave. I think 1 or 2 left, and neither of them were committed from the start. Neither of them that left were committed from the start. So to see a race Wednesday be a total mess, horrible, wreck fest, we look like idiots, to have almost nobody leave, that means everybody for one has faith that the league's going to get better, because if they didn't have faith, they wouldn't race. And 2, that shows our potential.
Sorry, Eagles. I have to go right now.
All good. Hey, thanks for joining us, Bleachy.
Thanks for
joining, Bleachy.
Thanks for being in, Bleach.
Good luck.
All right, see you guys later. Have a good night.
Right, man.
Good night.
So yeah, like I was saying, it just shows the potential. You know, when you have such a bad race and nobody leaves, you know, Texas is going to be great, and I think, you know, Pocono is going to be great in every race to follow. And that kind of leads me into my next point, which we'll all be able to comment on, is it's kind of a duo. It's kind of, you know, penalties and rule changes. I don't really care where we start. I'll let Billy take it. Which one do you want to start?
Can I ask Billy one quick question first?
Yeah, sure.
Are you going to put a cap on how many drivers you have in each one at some point?
Well, I'm glad you kind of brought that up. So
That leads us into the rule changes, pretty much. So we'll start with rule changes.
Okay, sorry.
No, it's all good.
Yeah, let's get to that in a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get to that subject in just a minute. We got a pretty good topic we're gonna talk about here in just a few minutes.
Yeah. All right. So then I guess we'll start off with the penalties. So we'll get into the rule changes because that is huge, and I'm actually a big fan of what we're going to be discussing in a minute. We're going to start off with penalties. I'll let Billy announce those. Billy knows what those are.
Yeah.
It's only
So
for
I mean,
Day-League.
I'm not going to announce what the penalties we give out this week, but you know, we have rules in place. You know, we gotta be kind of respectful in the chat. You know, our things get heated. You know, things get heated all the time, and I understand it's racing. People's going to make mistakes and get into somebody or whatever, but you know, I just want to make sure that people read the rules, because I think a lot of guys didn't read the rules, and some guys did. You know, and one thing I'm not going to tolerate in FTR is retaliation. You know, it's you know, if somebody gets into you or whatever, and they, you know, by mistake or something, and you know, they apologize and this, that, and the other, and you know, somebody else don't say anything, and then you intentionally wreck somebody, I promise you, you will be suspended for a race. You know, I handed 2 of those out this week. 2 guys got suspended for a race, and they got docked 15 points. You know, rules are rules. You know, they're in place. They're there for a reason. You know, it's trying to keep the league together, and because you got to have some type of rules, right? So
Absolutely.
Definitely. And you have to enforce them. That's what's going to keep it together.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely hate giving out penalties. You know, it's not something that I want to do. You know, but sometimes you have to do. You have to be the bad cop, and I had to be the bad cop, you know, this week, and hopefully those guys learn from that. You know, I want everybody to learn from that. You know, it's just, you know, we base this on respect, and that's the way we're going to keep it. So that's kind of, you know, that's kind of the penalty thing. The one more thing to add to that is, you know, we're going to put a new rule in place. It's 24 hours. You got 24 hours to send me clips on if somebody wrecked you, or you want us to review something and take a look at it and say, hey, is this a penalty? Is it not a penalty? You know, we're gonna take 24 hours, and I'll give a ruling after 24 hours what the penalty will be. You know, that gives us time to assess what's going on. You know, look at a lot of footage. You know, hopefully there's not a lot of footage. Hopefully we don't have that, but if we do, it's
So,
there.
will you be going off video only, or are you going to be going off hearsay from this person done this to me, or what? Or you want video proof where it didn't happen?
Probably
No, if
video.
you're
You
gonna,
need proof, probably.
yeah, if you're gonna want me to penalize someone, I got to look at the footage. I mean, I
Mm.
can't go by what somebody says because anybody can say anything. Not
Yeah.
necessarily saying somebody's lying. It's just if my committee that I have, I guarantee they will find it because they found a lot of things this week. So
Definitely. And that
it
will
will.
bring us into our next topic.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I gotta have proof. If you want me to, if we're gonna hand out penalties, I gotta have proof.
Not
Yeah.
everybody's like me, Leggy, that will hand out my own 15-point deduction.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
deserve it sometimes.
And one thing to add to that, if people don't think I follow the rules, I gave my own self a penalty last season for 15 points. So
You did. Yeah. That, and you
Yep.
did it in, was it the first season? Where you
first
you
season
gave
as
up a
well.
win.
So
So that's,
I did. So what's fair is fair, guys. You know what I'm saying?
Abs-
If I'm gonna treat you guys that way, I'm gonna treat my own self that way, and I
I
expect
mean,
my own self to the
I'm more
standard.
than happy to be the one that's the example to show not what to do. I mean, I get it. Somebody kept running into me, and I got upset, and
And it happens, it happens. It
I've
and
happens.
been
I got
penalized.
upset, and I did exactly what he did to me. But I called myself out on it. It's the first thing
That
I
wouldn't
did.
have happened to have been a road course, was it? There, JD?
Well, there was a road course one. I had two this last season. One early in the
Yeah.
season, I believe it was at Kentucky, I believe it was, and
Oh, good.
and then at the in the playoffs. But I called myself on it, and um, it was stupid. Uh, I'm here to try to help
Either one.
everybody and be an example of what we should be doing. And in the heat of the moment, I lost it, and it happened. But it wasn't a very proud moment for me, but it is what it is. And yeah, we
But look at
Billy
the
and I
man you
talked.
become of it.
Yep, and moving forward, it should get better because I'm absolutely here to help everybody that I can. Right now in the C division, I'm gonna get a big shout out to Brandon. I'm kind of working with Brandon when I can, and I'm looking for him to be looking pretty good this next Sunday.
Yep.
Right on.
Yeah, and just to add to that with the penalties is it proves, obviously it proves that, I don't know how to say it. It proves that you're not playing almost. It proves that if you do something and it's caught, you're gonna get busted for it, which I also think will help with the driving. This Wednesday, and even B and C League will see it too. It helps. People will probably keep themselves more under control because they don't want to get a penalty.
Yep.
But like Billy was saying with the 24-hour rule, that kind of leads us into our next topic with rule changes. We've made a couple rule changes, one being the 24-hour rule. I'm going to actually let Billy explain this. He knows it better than I do. There were some major rule changes, mainly for the A-League. Were there any for B and C, Billy?
There were no changes yet for B and C. We're gonna keep B and C like there is for now.
Other than the 24 rule, which is for everybody. But
Correct.
yeah, there's been a major rule change in qualifying, and I'm gonna let Billy explain that, and then you guys can have your takes on it.
Yeah. So last night we had a meeting. Had an interesting meeting. We had our admins in and everything, and we was trying to come up with the best solution to our A group. So we got a 34. I think right now we got a 34 car field right now, and what we want to do is come up with the best possible way that we can put on the best race we can for the fans, right? And for the racers to have fun and be able to come in and race and showcase their talent. So, we had a lot of discussions, and we changed up the format a little bit, and I'll kind of go over that. So, you know, typically when we always raced on Sundays and Wednesdays, now we always qualified right before the race. We did our 4%. qualifying race, everybody was in the lobby, and we just based our stuff off of that. So we came up with a solution that I think is going to produce, number one, you're going to have the best racers on the track, again, for one. You know what I'm saying? So that's number two. I think that's going to make for a lot better racing action. Number three, kind of got to earn your way in the race. Um, we want everybody to race, but at the same time, we can't produce races like we did, this past week. So our new format for qualifying is we're going to do single car qualifying on Tuesday night at 8:30. So we selected 4 captains to head up the qualifying lobbies. Um, Myself, War, Heavy, and McLovin are going to host qualifying lobbies on Tuesday night at 8:30. We're going to have groups. Each racer is assigned to a group. That doesn't mean that you're on that team. I've had some people ask me, "Hey, is that the team we're on this year?" No, that's not a team. What that is that is who you will qualify with every single week. So that is your captain for qualifying every single Tuesday is who you're paired with. So I feel like what we're going to do is we're going to take the top 24 fastest guys in qualifying, and that's going to make up your field every single week for each race. Like this week at Texas, we will do our qualifying on Tuesday at 8:30. Wednesday morning, I will post a lineup with everybody who's in the top 24. I will post everybody's time, no matter if you make it or not. I will post where you start and your time. We will lock in the top 24 from qualifying. Will be locked into Texas next week. 25th through 34 will not race. Only the top 24. If you qualify 25th through 34, you will receive 25th place points. So even though you don't race, you will still receive points for qualifying. So that's kind of how the qualifying is going to go. We've posted the groups and the captains on Facebook, on the Facebook page. So if you haven't looked at it, you need to look at it because you need to know who you're going to be with, and also you need to make sure that you're on time, and make sure that you are friended with your captain. That way he can get you in the lobby. So, we kind of covered a few things right there. We covered the race lineup, how we're going to do that, the qualifying format. Another big thing is the roll call. Okay, the roll call will go out on Tuesday morning, 6:30, 7 o'clock, whatever time I get up, I will post the roll call. You can sign up on the Facebook page, or you can sign up on the PS chat. I know a lot of guys that work during the day and everything like I do, and they're not on PS chat all day. That some guys don't see it till 6, 7 o'clock. But everyone looks at Facebook page. So if you can't sign up on the PS chat, sign up. All you got to do is I'll announce the roll call in the comments. All you got to do is put who you are and your race car number. You're signed up that way. The roll call will close at 7:30. Okay, that's key. After 7:30, you can't sign up. Okay, so make sure that you sign up before 7:30. And that's roll call's a must. We need to know who's making it and who's not. Some guys want to drag in 7:45, 8 o'clock. I'm sorry, you're not qualifying. If you're not on the roll call at 7:30, you will not qualify. You will not race that week because you will not have no time. So please, please, please sign up on roll call. Another big thing we're going to do, one more thing we're going to do is how we start the race. I blame a lot of it on last week. It's my fault. We had a big field. I invited everybody in one at a time. It took a long time to get everybody in. So I blamed that a little bit on myself last week as well. This time, what we're going to do is we're going to invite everyone that made the race in at one time. So I'll send everybody invites. You join as is. When we take the green flag, we will run 2 pace laps to get everybody in position, and we will do a manual start. That's something very new to FTR. We have not done that. I don't know that we've done that. I think we've done that in the past, but we kind of got away from it. But that's how we're going to do this going forward, is manual starts. We don't have manual cautions. I do not do manual cautions. I don't like it, and we will never do it. If it's going to be a caution, the game's going to call it, because you never know. You can have guys just make cautions on their own if they get out of the pack or whatever and everything. But that's kind of something new for FTR this season. I think this format's going to fit really well for our A guys. Not only does it make you work on your race car during the week, instead of just showing up on race day, you know what I'm saying, with no practice or think you got a fast setup. Well, I'm going to tell you what, looking at this roster that we got in this A group, you're going to have to put in some work, because it ain't going to be easy trying to qualify for these races every single week. You know, there may be a race or two where I don't qualify. You don't ever know. You don't never know what's going to happen. So it steps the game up. I mean, it's number one, it's going to make you better. Number two, it's going to make for better racing. And I'm looking forward to getting ready. I want to see how this pans out next week.
Definitely.
That actually kind of reminds me of the old NASCAR. You know, you a 43 car field, but you could have 50 to 60 cars show up to try to fill that, and they all had to go on qualifying time. So that is awesome. I think it's absolutely a great idea, and it will make for much, much better racing, I believe.
Yeah, I do want to add one thing. If you cannot qualify Tuesday, as long as you message Billy beforehand, he said he'll be able to get you qualified with probably one of the captains, McLovin, or Heavy, or him.
Definitely.
You know, if you can't, say you have a league Tuesday, or something pops up, say something as soon as possible so you have as many days or as much time to get qualified. Because if you don't get qualified, unless 23 people show up, you're not making the race. And with 35 showing up Wednesday, you know, to only top 24 make it, you're going to have to qualify unless only 20 show up. So you definitely want to be able to qualify.
Yep, exactly. I think it's a great format. I think you're going to put the best of the best on the racetrack. And, you know, it's a challenge, right?
Makes people earn their way in.
It's just, it's hard knocks racing. I mean, if you want to race in FTR in the A League, you got to earn it. And this will determine it right here. You know, guys got to work on their setups, and I'm sure, you know, the pack's going to be tight. And I think it's going to be tense. You know, it's going to be one or two tenths separating. So it's awesome. I mean, I don't know how else you could make it any harder to get in. You know, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be very interesting. I'm ready to get that started.
Definitely. And something that I'm surprised we haven't talked about yet is we did talk about Baby Lion Macy getting the win in the C League. We haven't talked about the A and the B winner yet. Like I said earlier, all three races had rookie winners. Macy has never won a race before. She got the win. Hardcore Bubba got it in B League, and Rub On 'em got it in A. So
I sure was.
That's
I
awesome.
thought he was going to run out of fuel with all the yellows that came on. I was like, oh God, please just let this finish. And I was with the guys in the booth, just like I wasn't in the booth. I was on the truck, but I was like, just get to the white flag. Just get to the white flag.
Yeah, so what's your guys' takes there? And this is for anybody to, you know, Rub On 'em, Hardcore, and Macy all getting their first wins. They're all rookie, or they're not all rookies, but they're first career wins for all of them. First race of the season.
I've been following NASCAR for about 30 years. Everybody always asks me, who do you want to win the race? And my answer is the same all the time. I want a first-time winner every week.
Well, you got your
come
wish.
On now, they can't be. If that happened, I would never win.
That's fine.
No, absolutely.
That's all of us.
B League has a lot of promising drivers. This next week, I'm looking at Chargers. I'm looking at Tone Touch. I'm looking at Banoog. He's got a phenomenal car right now too out there, and of course, I'm looking at myself and will know more about these rookies that have come in after this race. I mean, Daytona's a whole
When I
nother
find a
beast,
track I'm good at, I'll let you know what my pick
right?
is.
Uh, Daytona's a whole nother beast. Anybody at any moment can win that race. This race here is a little bit more skillful, and
It's going to be a setup track for sure.
yep, you're going to have good lines, good patience, um, and 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 good strategy with your pit crews. But C League, I think that league right there is going to show the most improvement. We're going to have a bunch of people from that league next season be up in B League, and they're going to be, yep, and they're going to be pushing to prove themselves respectfully, because I've seen a lot of respect given and taken in that race with the B League.
Yeah, it's over.
I mean C League. Excuse me, I'll apologize, but C League showed a lot of like they are already starting to get their stuff together, and we got to give credit to Shady for getting that all together like that. He's done a fantastic job with them, and he tries to coach them up, and I believe that's helping quite a bit right there.
Yeah. With what JD was just talking about, I kind of did lead us into our next topic with picks for next week for all three series. We'll start off with Billy. Just what's your pick for the C League, B League, and the A League?
Oh man, I've run with. I hadn't really ran with nobody from B League. A couple guys. I'll tell you somebody who, I've got. I kind of got my eye on him. I run with him some laps the other day at Texas, and I got my eyes on Racing Phenom. I think he's very respectful. I think he's got a fast car. I look for him to do some good things. I think Supreme's gonna be fast. I think Brandon's gonna be fast. I think R-Tide's gonna be fast. Shady's gonna be fast. Big Rig.
Bronco was good here.
I just don't. I don't know. I mean, we're just going to see how it kind of plays out. B League. I got to go with Tone. I got to go with JD Bronco. There's a lot of. Blazing's going to be good.
I absolutely didn't even mention
man. I mean, it's just Noco's going to be good. Blue Pit. I mean, I go through just like I said before. I think anybody can win a race at any time. That's just how. That's it. Any one of these guys can win.
Definitely. Well, that leads you into the biggest series. You only have 150 guys to choose from. I say it every week. Who's your pick in A?
I'm gonna go with myself for number one.
Other than yourself, you pick yourself every week. Yeah,
well,
yeah.
You got to. If you don't have confidence in yourself, you're there to win. Now, you got these really fast competitors. They're the ones you have to worry about.
I think Clashing's gonna be good. I think JWoww will be good. I think Slade's gonna be really, really fast. God, man, I'm telling you, there's so many guys. I mean, True Death's gonna be fast. Man, I mean, that's some more names right there. I mean, I think Titans is probably gonna be fast. Chase would have been fast if he would have been here. I don't know, man. It's a toss up.
There's a lot of staticiness. I'm not sure who it is. You're a little staticky, JD.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's better. So yeah.
What you guys think?
Yeah, JD, Lugnut, what's your guys' pick for the C League? Yeah.
C, I gotta get familiar with the C guys more. I think JD's gonna pick off Texas. And I think Billy's going to take A.
All right. Well, I'm very happy you didn't pick me. JD, you did give us some of your picks. I don't think you gave us your pick for A League. Just what are your picks?
A League, I got so much. We're looking at Sludgy. He's tough there. He's going to be fast there. He's world champion. I look for him. I look for Billy. I always look for Billy every week. I would say Eagles, but I don't know. Let me think. Yeah.
Hey, I mean, I do have it up on my screen right now.
You do hold the all-time best time there. So
yeah,
I
not
gotta
that means anything, but no, I'm just playing.
Then we got all these new guys that I know that I've raced with, and have been blown away by them because they are just absolutely fantastic drivers. I mean,
One guy that I didn't mention, I know is super fast everywhere he goes. That's Mike RPM as well.
Yep.
I think he's going to be right there as well. So I mean, it's I'll tell you guys, this field's stacked like a brick.
that is a stacked field, and it's hard to. I'm kind of biased, as you all can tell. I have my buddies that I root for every week. I always root for War. I always root for Rub-On. I always root for Dark Knight. Heavy Duty. All these guys I root for every week. And what a race. I mean, Rub-On, man. Big props, bro. I was so worried you're going to run out of fuel, but you pulled through and made that race. I mean,
He did what he needed to do, right?
I was quite pleasantly surprised with him. You know, Rub's one of my favorite drivers out there. We have fun with each other. He's a fun-loving guy, I tell you.
He is.
So,
who's your pick, Eagles?
I do kind of have my picks, at least for the C and the B League. Starting off with the C, I think Racing Phenom, I think there were a couple guys that put up really fast times, like 29 O's through 2s, and for C League, obviously, that's, succeeding the expectation. So I think Racing Phenom was one of them, or Phenom. I know he was one of the guys you mentioned. If he is running those times, definitely going to watch out for him. For the B League, obviously you got, Lugnut, JD the veteran, then there's, Blazin's been fast, Bronco. But if I go against this guy, I'd be a fool. As long as he races, I gotta go with Noko. He's been off for a while, but if he comes back and he races, he's gonna be quick. He's gonna be fast. He always has been. I gotta give him, a lot of props. He's pulled through. He's been through a lot, and he's finally back. I hope he races. I'm not sure why he missed Daytona. He'll be coming back at Texas, though. He got me off my feet in Giggity, got me out of that development group and got me into the trucks, and I have a lot of respect for Noko. And really cool to see Noko come back, and if he doesn't pull it through in the B League, I'll be disappointed, because it'd be cool to see him come back, not race for a year and a half, and come back and get the win. So for B League, I'm going to go with Noko, and for the A League, I'm gonna have to go. Oh my gosh, my pick would have been Bird Chase. If I would have had to go with Chase, he won't be there for Texas. Other than Chase, there's a lot of guys. In my head, I've got Mike RPM. I've also got the JCR guys. JWoww and Clash indefinitely. Titans as well as point leader, which that's actually will probably be our next topic, the standings. He's the point leader. Titans will be one to be messing with, reckoning with. I think I'm not sure who I went with at Daytona. I think I went with Clashin for one of his duels. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to go with oh my gosh, I can't even. I'm going with JWoww. I would pick Clashin. I can't rely on his internet. I think he lagged out of Daytona like on the first lap, finished dead last. So that sucked for him. If I'm gonna go with somebody, I'd have to go with JWoww. There's a lot of guys to pick from, but I'm gonna have to go with JWoww.
I think that's a solid pick.
Yeah. Well,
I think so.
Good picks.
yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot of guys. In every series, there's a lot of
I
guys to be
mean,
looking
there's
out
so
for.
many guys. I mean, B League. I'm not looking at two or three guys winning this season. I'm looking at possibly 6 to 9 guys during the season because these races and these drivers that have come up, um, this is going to be quite intense in B League. Noco, I've never run with them. I've always. I'm looking forward to racing with them. Um, should be some really good racing in B League. We have a lot of fast cars that are like thousands. I'm talking hundreds and thousands of seconds apart from each other, and just driving ability. I'm talking. We have a lot of good guys in B League, and we got a lot of guys that are eager to get that first win. You got Blazing that's eager to get that first win. You got Luggy that's eager to get that
I
first win.
want to win so bad.
We got Panugi. And he has really come on. The last half of last season, he has come on really good, and we actually worked together on a lot of stuff. So I'm very proud of Panugi. He's getting better and better and better and faster and faster and faster. Tone Touch, he's got his mentors, so he's helping him out every week. So I'm telling you, B League's going to be really exciting. Uh, A League's going to be crazy phenomenal, and C League is just these guys and girls down there in C League are looking to prove themselves and move up in the rankings. And the FTR family, FTR Racing League, this is what it's all about for us. Is to make our league better, and the drivers that we have in our league perform better,
Yeah,
looking to
yeah,
win every race that they can. And I believe this is exactly what we do here at FTR. Billy should be damn proud of what he's got here. And I mean, there's quite a few of us that has been here since the beginning, and we all take pride in what we got going on here. And yeah, Billy should be damn proud of himself there.
yeah,
Yes, he should.
yeah. So we have two more short topics I would like to touch on. One of them being the standings. That's a pretty quick one. Just looking at the standings, you've got some guys. You've got some heavy hitters. It's early. It's very early. Obviously, we're only one race in, but you've got some major heavy hitters below the cut line right now. Some guys that are above the cut line, obviously you got the race winner Rub Bonner sitting second in the standings. I'm one of the JCR boys in JCR Titans leading. Me and Billy have third and fourth. Bob Drew has fifth. Obviously a big hit in Mike RPM sitting in sixth. NASCAR Extreme, Marley, Dark Knight, and then JWoww sits 10th. Slade sits 11th. Honda sits 12th. Pretty Boy James right outside the cut in 13th. Then you got some bigger names. Aqua Tatty's below. You got Lynch and Mac. War, obviously veteran. He's been here since the start. He's below the cut line in 17th. He's got some playoff points. He's the only guy below the cut to have playoff points. Some FRR guys in True Death and Pittman. Mini Cooper and Micah. You got some other guys down here is in Robbie, Reckless, veteran Heavy, previous champion Sludge, Street Machine. Mini Golf, MRL guys in Bad Martin, obviously a heavy hitter in Nature Bro Chase, Memphis, Proc Dan, J Tizzle, they're all down there on the standings, as well as obviously Clashing, who lagged out. So just kind of looking at that, you guys can give me some of your takes on that. You got some heavy hitters below the cut line, then you got some guys above the cut line as well that
I think you're going to see that all turn around in every league, in every group this week.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you. I mean, there's some heavy hitters below this cut line, and I don't think they're going to stay there long. So,
Some heavy hitters took some hard hits the other night, and they should be able to rebound back from that, just with their driving.
Yep.
And one thing to note is 1st to 34th is 55-point difference. Last season, there was like 55 points between each driver. We're only one race in, but teammates, Titans is first, Clashing's last. There's 55 points separating them. That's not a whole lot. After one race it is, but we're only one race into the season, so you have a lot of races to make it up, and obviously everybody in between. The top 12 have playoffs. Clashing's dead last in the standings, and he's 28 points out of the cut. So, obviously after one race, everybody's going to be extremely tight. But that's also something else to note. I don't think there's more than 3 to 5 points or less between every driver, except for second and third. Rub on him has 10 on Billy, and then Billy has 2 on me, and I have 3 on Bob, who has 1 on Mike, who has 1 on NASCAR. It's
That's
just
what you like
all
to
the way
see.
down the list, 1 or 2 points, separating guys. I mean, you got, 18th and 27th? 8 points. Like,
Yeah, crazy.
it's a lot of guys that's really close in the standings, so that's something else to note as well. Is there any other final thoughts on that before I get into what I think will be our final topic?
Yeah, I think just you'll see a lot of the change this week.
Obviously, there's the B and C standings as well. Yeah, that might do it for the standings for now. Any final thoughts on that?
No, I think you're gonna see. I think you're gonna see a lot of juggling. You know what I'm saying? This week, it's Daytona kind of bit a lot of the heavy hitters, and I think you're gonna see the heavy hitters rise this week. So it's gonna
Definitely.
be very, very interesting.
And you never know, if you're below that cut and say you don't qualify into this next race, it's really gonna hurt you. That's where, guys like, Clashing or Dan, Proc, Memphis, Chase, Bad, guys that are down there on that cut, if they don't qualify into this next race, they're gonna be in a big hole early. And same for, say Titans, Rub on them, or us, or Bob, Drew, Mike, say for some reason they don't get in. They have some cushion, but like I said, it's not a big one. We're all gonna, if one of us don't make it, we're probably gonna go from top 6, 7 to 28, or worse. So something else to note as well.
Sure.
But I think that's gonna get us into our final topic, and that is the FTR affiliate High Side Racing League, where we had the most drivers ever show up in a High Side Racing League race. We're going into season 4. And I think our most was like 21 or something like that. We had 31 guys show up Monday, and it was a phenomenal race. The one stage was messy. I think it was stage 2 was messy. Other than that, stage 1 and stage 3 were great. I came away with the win. That was a huge win for me. Pick up our liftoff last season, winning the championship race. Billy got the championship for the second season in a row. But like I said, 31 guys. We put on a great show, and the biggest thing is it was A, B, C, and guys not in FTR all come together, put on a great race. We have 37 or 8 on the roster, something like that. Billy added a lot of guys. I have to thank him why we had so many guys show up. I looked at the roll call and I'm like, 30 guys? I'm like, wow. It's just, you just don't expect that, So, Lugnut was in that race. JD missed it, but he is on the roster. He'll race when he can. Billy was in it as well. Just what are your guys' thoughts on it? Because you're all involved in the league. All you guys are.
Well, there's one driver that I have to call out in that race, and that's Brandon again. He had a phenomenal race. He started in the back of the pack and moved his way up to 8th place. And now let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, he is a C driver. This is how close C and B and A drivers are. There's just, not a lot of difference between them. So I have to really give some props to Brandon on that. He's done a phenomenal job so far. I'm looking for him to push to be one of the top drivers there in C League by the end of the season.
Definitely. What's your thoughts
I
on
only
it,
lasted 2.5 laps, so I don't even want to talk about that.
You'll rebound. We're at the same track this week.
I was very impressed. I mean, we had a mixed bag, right? I mean, first race of the season, Daytona, we had C drivers, we had B drivers, we had A drivers, and these guys, we put on a hell of a show. I have to say. I mean, that's if I had to go with the best Daytona race, it was that one for a
I
season
agree.
opening. Um, we showed up. We put on a hell of a race for the fans. And
Broadcaster
it was
with the new
great.
broadcaster. We're gonna get
Nick,
his channel
Yeah,
out
that was
there.
good.
Anybody who wants to go out there, you can look up Nick 2019 Champ. He's gonna be broadcasting on Monday races every week. A new broadcaster, so that's
awesome
something
guy. If we
else.
can get somebody in the booth to help him out, it would be much appreciated.
We
It's
have a
really
lot of
tough.
guys in FTR that likes to broadcast. So if any of you guys,
Yep.
I can give you his username, and I'm sure he'll like to have somebody broadcast with him. It'd be really cool. I'm not sure. I think did he do it alone Monday? I think
He
he
did it
did.
Yes, he
alone
did.
He
Monday.
did.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, he
Okay.
did.
Well, so if anybody wants to join him, more than welcome. You guys, if he wants somebody to do it with him, definitely. We got a lot of guys in FTR that do broadcasting, so that's something else to note. Other than the racing, definitely want to get a broadcaster in there with him. But yeah, like I said, it's almost heartwarming to see it because I shut down the one season in High Side because we had like 6 to 8 guys showing up each week. So to start it back up, affiliate with FTR after, we set a record last year, never having under 11 guys show up. Every single race of the season was 11 or more, and that was just, I was happy with that. Typically we ended our first year with like 6 guys showing up for the championship where we crowned JWoww champion in season 1, and we started out with what is still to date my most favorite league race ever was Atlanta in High Side, where we had Clash and JWoww, Elvin Priest. It was like the entire JCR group, FRR, FTR, Elvin Priest, his guys, everybody in one race. That was my favorite race of all time on NASCAR E5 was, and we started off with that, only had a couple guys to end. Then we went on to season 2. We had like 8 guys race the championship race there, where Billy passed him on the last lap to be champion. And then last season didn't have under 11 guys all year long. Billy got it again. I won the final race, and Billy got the championship again. So, JWoww season 1, Billy season 2, Billy season 3, and then to go into season 4 and have 31 guys show up is just, super, super
It was
happy.
good to see.
Yeah, I never
Very good.
expected High Side to get that big. I questioned, do I have to make a second group? I didn't want to have to do that because that's not what the intention was. The intention was to use it as a practice for FTR on Wednesday and to give guys in B and C some extra time to practice and get better, because the more practice, the better. So it helps everybody. And then obviously some guys don't race in FTR that are in that league. So for them it's just a normal league. So plus the broadcast, plus Billy made its own page if you guys want to go join that as well. We're growing, and I'm really happy to see what where it's going. I have to thank Billy; he's done a lot, adding guys and making the page, and I have to thank Shady for finding a broadcaster, and I have to thank everybody who showed up in race. And I don't think we had but 1 or 2 guys leave High Side too, so just the same as FTR, we had the same turnout and a great race. So I'm really happy. We're off to a great start, and really excited to see where it goes for Monday at Texas.
Yes, sir.
Yes, congratulations on the win, Eagles.
Yeah,
Yep.
thanks.
Exactly.
Is there any final thoughts, Billy, JD, and Lug,
No, it's been a
for
good
anything?
broadcast. It was a good week, and I'm looking forward to Texas.
Yep, absolutely. Looking forward to Texas, seeing all these new drivers perform and see what they got. And I'm looking to prove myself to be the top-notch driver. But we all know I finished top top 2 every season so far. But
Back
actually,
that up, back that up.
no, you got
Moving
luck.
over there, son.
Y'all know who was the number. I should have been number 1 driver. But Micah had a phenomenal season. I'm looking for him to improve in A-League this season too.
Yes.
We got to get him to start qualifying better, because he's a driver that likes to be patient and drive through the build. Now he has to. Now he has to learn how to.
Go fast all at once.
Yep.
Yep. I agree. My kind
Alrighty,
of
guys.
take
Well,
is
thank you for having me.
yeah. I mean, my take is Yeah, we didn't have our best showing last week, but I tell you what, we're gonna rebound this week. I think you're gonna see some great races this coming week. Um, I want to appreciate everybody out in YouTube land that supports us. You know, supports our races every week. You know, all the fans out there that support our Facebook page every week. Um, all the racers that show up every week, put their time in, and just fortunate enough to come race in FTR. You know, we're gonna make this right. We're gonna keep making changes if we have to make it right, to make this the best league. And I'm
And I
excited, man. I'm ready to get it. I'm ready to see what week 2 brings, and we're almost there. And it's just awesome.
and I do want to give a shout out to Shady and Hardcore Bubba up in the booth. They were doing a great job for you, and I'm glad to be up there with them.
Yeah.
Sure.
For sure.
Well, I think that's gonna do it. Are there any final thoughts yet for anybody?
No, I'm ready for bed. This old man's ready to put his head
Yes,
down.
sir.
All right.
Thank you,
Well,
guys.
once again,
All
I
right,
have
y'all.
to thank Bleachy Bones. He left. He had his league race. Good luck to him, and have to thank him for joining us tonight. Have to thank Lugnut and JD joining us as well.
Thanks
Glad
for
to have
having
you
me.
guys.
Thanks.
Yeah, anytime, anytime. Obviously, Billy once again.
Yes,
Wrapping
sir.
up our 4th episode. We're getting out there. We're getting noticed. We're getting interested. And thanks for anybody who tuned in, watched just parts of it. Anybody who tuned in for the whole thing. Thanks to you guys. I think this is our longest one. I told Billy it was probably going to be because we had a lot to talk about. So thank you, Lugnut. Thank you, JD. And we're gonna
My problem.
have.
Thanks
Let
for
me
letting me join.
definitely.
Yep.
Let me go ahead and see who's on the show for next week because I like to shout that out. For Pocono next week's, right now we have Shady Acres and Slade, C League driver and A League driver. So
Yep.
really cool to see those guys. I'm excited to talk to Shady and Slade next week. Thank you, JD. Thank you, Bleachy Bones, who's not in here with us anymore. And thank you, Lugnut. And
No problem, bud.
till next time, peace.
See you guys.